Welcome to the Mind vs. Action journey, where every week I will share experiences, thoughts, and ideas on how you can go from thoughts in your mind to actually taking actions. Life is not formed by just what is in our mind, but by actually taking action on what is in our mind. It is not enough to simply hope, think, and wish. We must take action. It's not about forgiveness, it's about letting go that sets you free. I have experienced a lot throughout my life. A lot of disappointments, tragedies, life-threatening events, roadblocks, setbacks, and countless stabs in the back from people who I consider friends and even my own family. Heck, my own father. But even with all this, I don't consider myself that I was a victim of any of it or hold any grudges or feel the need to forgive people that did me wrong in order for me to continue to be happy or keep living my life. The reason I can say this is because early on in life, I learned the power of letting go of the things that can drag me down, that could hold me back. So for me, it's never been about forgiving, as I don't feel that I am someone special to forgive. For me, it's always been about shit happens and learn from that shit and move on and leave out the people that caused me harm without ever turning back. For me, what is done is done. No point in ruminating about it. For me, nobody has control over my feelings. Nobody makes me feel a particular way, good or bad, because I am the master of my mind. No one else holds this power but me. I believe that so many people live in this constant pattern of entrapment where they live their lives in the past. Specifically, they live their lives in the, why did this happen to me? Why did he or she do this to me? If only I would have done, why me? And the list goes on and on. Meanwhile, life is happening. Meanwhile, time is doing its thing of continuing to run as it waits for no one, as it has no pity for no one. And while I know that there are things that happen to us that do hurt physically and emotionally, I also know that the most severe emotional pain we experience is caused by our own selves, because we are the ones that decide what we focus on, what meaning we decide to continue to give experiences. We decide what consumes our minds and therefore our lives. Think about this for a second. When someone does something to you, not something physical, but let's say a betrayal of some sort, something that has to do with the action of someone else that you interpreted by your conscious mind, not through your senses of touch, but rather your processing of thought and feelings you attach to the situation. Did that person really do something to you? Did that person really go inside your mind and rewire the part of your brain that generates feelings? Or did you do that? Did you rewire your mind by giving it an association of a particular feeling, a feeling that caused you emotional pain? And once the perpetrator has done his or her wrongdoing and moved on, whether they apologize or not, they have moved on. Meanwhile, you are left still hurting. Not because of their actions, but because of your failure of not letting go of what happened. Because we have been conditioned that in order for someone to move on from a negative experience, there must be some type of closure, explanation, some type of forgiveness given, some type of making up, or how about the proverbial apology? Now, I am not saying that one should not apologize when we do something wrong, but for me, an apology is more of recognizing that I did something wrong rather than seeking absolution. If you really think about it, an apology is nothing more than words, and the power that an apology carries is bestowed by the person receiving it, not by the person giving it. It does not matter how sincere the person asking for it is. The person receiving the apology is the one that, by associating meaning to that apology, gives it the power to shift the mind from, I am in emotional pain, to, I am starting to heal from that experience. The person that did the wrongdoing did nothing more than blur out words. Nothing more than words. We are the ones that gave ourselves permission to heal. We are the ones that gave ourselves the freedom to move on by simply rewiring our thought process once again. There is power, great power in letting go of experiences that do not serve us any good. But that power is only in each one of us, not in the people that hurt us, not in the people that cause us harm. The power can only be wielded by each person at the most individual level. We own our feelings. We own the ability to assign meaning to everything that happens to us, good or bad. We own our thought process. We own what we choose to focus on. We own what experiences we choose to reminisce on. And most importantly, We own the ability to move on and live life on our own terms. For me, when shit happens, because it does and will continue to happen, it is part of life. After all, it does not matter how good you live on or how well you plan, shit will always happen. I take inventory of what happened, how it happened, who caused it, and immediately go into what I can do from this point on. If it can be fixed, I fix it. If it cannot, I let it go. I shift my focus to something else in my life that I can still impact. If a person did or does something wrong to me, I do not seek an apology. I seek to make it clear that I will not tolerate that action again, and I either let that person continue to exist in my life or I eliminate that person from my life. Life can be complicated, but it can also be very simple. That is on each one of us. We live in a world where a lot of bad exists, but we also live in a world where a lot of good exists. We hold the power to which area we focus on, the good or the bad. And the way that we hold that power is by what we choose to seek, the good or the bad. There is plenty of both wherever we search. So I say, focus on the good. The rest will always follow. Life will always follow. Please subscribe to my blog, podcast, or YouTube channel to get notifications when my weekly entry is posted. I promise I will never disappoint. Thank you. Until next time, I challenge you to own your thoughts, actions, process, results, and ultimately your life story. Most importantly, I challenge you to go from thoughts in your mind to taking actual actions on those thoughts